Hey everybody, today we're going to take a look at some swing state polling where it looks like Trump maintains his advantage. But it's all not great news for Trump, as we'll see at the end. But if you were looking for a coin flip battle this week, looks like that's going to be on hold until next week. So let's talk about this poll, and this is from Bloomberg/Morning Consult. And the reason we're going to take a look at this poll is they poll all the 7 battleground states at once. So it's good to get a look at some comprehensive data. I've looked at their history before. They've got some hits and some misses. I'm not saying they're right or wrong. I'm just here to present the data. So the subheadline here is the president trails Trump in each of 7 battleground states as a larger share of voters say immigration is their top issue in the 2024 election. Now the sample size in this poll was 4,956 registered voters, and in the individual states the sample size is going to be smaller, ranging from about 450 to 800. So let's see what they have to say. It says 6 in 10 swing state voters say President Joe Biden bears responsibility for a surge in migrants at the U.S.-Mexico border. And of course with immigration, there's always going to be a lot of different factors. But I think a lot of voters might be nostalgic for the days of Trump. Even though he talked hard on immigration, at this point that might be more appealing than seeing this surge of migrants happening over and over almost every day. And I think if you're a voter looking for something resembling a secure border, even if you're not a fan of all of it, it looks like those voters are favoring Trump over Biden. Now, what about the swing states as a whole? Well, the 7 states in question are Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. That's likely to be where this election is won or lost. And across those 7 states, Trump is at 48%, Biden is at 42%. When you throw in third-party candidates, Trump's advantage goes up to 9 points. Now that's terrible news for Biden, but take a look at this next sentence. Trump to lose 53% of swing state voters if convicted of a crime. We'll take a quick look at that at the end, but that's terrible news for Trump. And it seems like as of now, that's the Democrats' best bet to actually win this election. If there's no conviction for Trump and things stay the same, then it looks more likely that Trump would win. So that's going to be a key topic as time goes on. So it says the economy is voters' chief concern, but immigration is rising in importance. Here's the 7 swing states, and this asks what is the most important issue. The lighter green dot on the top is the economy. The darker green dot on the bottom is immigration. And they've got 4 months of polling on here, and immigration seems to have spiked in January compared to the other months, while economy has fallen. It's still clear that the economy is more important, but there's also no denying that immigration will be a significant issue in this election. So there's discussion about a border bill in the works to tackle some of these issues. There's a lot of politics involved in that. And they also mentioned that Trump is trusted on a wide range of other issues, including the wars in Gaza and Ukraine, ties with China, infrastructure, housing, and crime. They didn't mention it here, but I'm sure abortion is one of the few topics that is going to be an advantage for Biden. So let's get down to the head-to-head matchups. Now, you do have to keep in mind that there is a margin of error, but across all 7 states, Trump is up 6, 48 to 42. In Arizona, he's up 3, Georgia +8, Michigan 5, Nevada 8, North Carolina, he cracks double digits at 10, Pennsylvania, it's a smaller 3-point advantage for Trump, and Wisconsin, he's up 5. So 7 states, and Trump is not hitting 50% in any of them, but he is up at least 3 points in all these states. Down here they go back into immigration. It says the 61% of swing state voters who view Biden as at least somewhat responsible for the increase in migrants crossing the U.S.-Mexico border is far higher than the 38% who said the same about Republicans in Congress, or the 30% who said so about the Trump administration. Down here they have multiple reasons for the migrant crisis, and this poll question asks how responsible each of those reasons are. Corruption in other countries is at the top, along with difficult economic conditions in other countries. We've got war and famine in other countries. Again, Joe Biden is at 61%, and all the way at the bottom, the Trump administration is at 30%. And it says here the poll was conducted before Biden pledged to shut down the border right now if Congress passes a bipartisan bill giving him emergency authorities. And there's more immigration data here. This says migrant encounters along the southwestern border hit a record high of over 300,000 in the month of December. And this asks, to what extent, if at all, do you believe illegal immigration helps or hurts the U.S. economy? Well, it looks like on a glance, most of the demographic groups say somewhat or significantly hurts. The most supportive is going to be Democrats, but even that does not hit 50%. It says here in every swing state except Michigan, a majority of voters say they've seen more immigrants over the last few years. So Republicans, and especially Trump, definitely want immigration to be an issue in this election, just like Democrats want abortion to be an issue. Politicians are selfish. They want an issue that's going to make the other side look bad and hopefully favor their party. Let's go on to the economy. This says only 29% of respondents said the national economy is headed in the right direction, but larger shares said their own city or state situation is on track. Down here it says some 51% said they trusted Trump more to manage the economy compared to 33% 53% who said they trusted Biden more. The economy is another huge issue, and it doesn't look like it's favoring the party in power. Even if the unemployment rate is low or there's a few other positive economic indicators, I think the most dominant thing is inflation and how people have lost tons of money over the past few years. And they're sick of seeing price increases happening over and over. So it's a lot of money they're not going to get back, and I could see enough voters taking that out on the party in power. Maybe the economy improves so much by election day that enough voters don't care, but it looks like the economy is an issue that's favoring Trump. And here's a breakdown asking if the economy is on the right direction or the wrong track. It's pretty bleak out there, but even Democrats are just barely hovering around the 50% heading in the right direction. So that's an overview of this poll. Now, if you want to look at the detailed crosstabs, I've got that right here. And as always, all the links will be down below in the description. There's an insane amount of data here. There's actually 4,400 pages to go through. I don't think anybody has time to look at that, but this main page here, it shows you the sample size of the different demographics. So sometimes they might over or undersample a particular group. So if you're looking to nitpick at some of the data points, this might be a good place to start. The one thing I can point out down here is the breakdown by party. They sampled 37% of Democrats, 38% of Republicans, and 25% of independents. So slightly more Republicans in this poll. Maybe it's a factor, maybe it's not, but this is not the first poll that has shown Trump in the lead in the key swing states. But let's cover the downside for Trump. Here again, it says Trump risks losing more than half of swing state voters if found guilty. Down here, 53% of voters in the 7 closely watched battleground states would be unwilling to vote for Trump in the general election if he were found guilty of a crime. It goes up to 55% if he were sentenced to prison. And this sentence here pretty much sums it all up. Voters' reluctance to support a convicted Trump is one of the few dark spots for the former president in the poll that otherwise shows him growing his margin over Biden in a head-to-head contest. And then down here it shows a breakdown of some voters that are willing or not willing to vote for Trump if he's convicted of a crime. And this is why I always tell people to take a look at the polls at a given moment, but keep in mind that we're still 9 months out from an election. There's a lot happening behind the scenes. We really don't know what's going to happen. First of all, we don't even know if these polls will be accurate if the election were held today, but we certainly don't know what the polling is going to look like in another 6 months from now. And on top of that, you throw in an uncertain economy, and then you have this issue where if Trump is convicted, he's going to lose support. So there is no telling what's going to happen between now and election day. I know Trump voters are enthusiastic about these polls right now. Biden voters are disappointed, and usually you want to look at the polls when you're ahead, and you want to rationalize or forget about them when you're trailing, but it seems like this election is going to have a significant amount of unknowns. We also don't even know how many candidates are going to be on the ballot in which states. Plus, if Biden looks this bad in the summer, I would imagine he's going to put out some executive orders to ignite his base and boost his turnout. So this looks like it's going to be the most significant weakness for Trump. Abortion is the other issue that's going to help Biden. You could look more through this article to find out how Trump's support could go down from a conviction. But the very last thing we're going to look at for just a second is this poll from Quinnipiac. This does not seem in line with the other polls, but in the national popular vote in the head-to-head matchup between Biden and Trump, Biden is up 50 to 44. So you could look more through this poll to find out that Biden is winning with independents, and maybe it's another sign that Trump might not be as dominant as the other polls show. It is just one poll, but this is one that Biden supporters are going to be looking at, while on the other side, Trump supporters are going to say it's an outlier. Everybody has some data they want to elevate and other data they want to dismiss. Most of it right now seems to favor Trump, but there's definitely some reasons for him to be cautious, and we'll see what happens, but I'm going to leave it there for now. So let me know in the comments, what do you think about these polls? Is Trump really on track to sweep the swing states? How much is immigration going to be an issue in the election? What about if Trump is convicted? How much would that change his chances? And what about this Quinnipiac poll that shows Biden up 6 in the general election? Let me know down below. On your way out, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Join if you'd like to support the channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.